Welcome to Beer League Sports Banter, episode 7. We've made it to episode 7. It's crazy. Our following may be dropping off a little bit, but we keep plugging away, hoping for the best for this show. Tonight we're going to do a quick little bit on Peyton Manning retiring. We're going to talk the NHL awards race. We're going to leave the playoff race till maybe next week. We'll get into our douchebag of the week, our Blue Jays discussion, and of course our local sports talk. So tonight we're going to lead off the show with Peyton Manning calling it quits on Monday. The fella had one of the greatest NFL quarterback careers ever. He gave an amazing goodbye speech. The way I would word it, he was graceful. He mentioned a whole lot of individual players, which I thought was fantastic. What do you guys got to say about Manning?
Yeah, that speech, he really crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
The way he went out and the emotion, and I mean, everybody's emotional when they retire, but it just seemed a little bit different with him. Cause,
Yeah, he choked back tears all the whole interview.
He seemed it seemed like he truly believed everything he was saying. Like, a lot of guys retire, and it's, thanks to all, my fans and all my teammates and stuff. But for him to go through, all the guys that he did and the way he thanked everybody and everything, it was really classy guy. Yeah, you can't say anything bad about him.
Even the introduction was a 20-minute speech beforehand to introduce him, done by the Denver organization. Everything was great about it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was classy. The way Peyton Manning spent his career as a quarterback was class.
Nothing but, never been.
Only one rape scandal.
That's ridiculous. It comes.
That comes 20 years later. But
there was a little blip in 2000. Somebody brought it up and it went away.
That's pretty good though.
And then,
for
but now some douchebag brings it up right after he wins the Super Bowl. 2 weeks after he wins the Super Bowl, this guy decides to bring up this old scandal.
Shocking.
And just
he didn't get caught sending dick pics to anybody or anything. He's pretty classy.
Just fuck off.
that makes 1 out of 4 of us.
Yeah.
So
My phone. No, I want to say something too. One of our guests here was on last 2 weeks ago now, Chad Rohr, big Peyton Manning fan, biggest Peyton Manning fan I know.
Oh, Jared Corbin's pretty up there.
No, he doesn't talk. No, he doesn't talk.
Rohr's a Colts fan. Man.
Jared's a pretend fan. Jared likes teams that are good. When they won the Super Bowl, Jared became a Peyton fan.
Yes,
Chad Rohr was with him before that.
Yeah,
so I just want to say, Chad Rohr, how do I put this? I gave you a hard time about Peyton Manning because it was fun for me to make fun of you when you didn't do very good. It just entertained me to bug you, but I feel bad about that now. I don't know, like that saying goes, you don't know what you have till it's gone, and Peyton Manning truly was one of the greats that ever played the game, and I kind of made fun of him a little bit, and I probably shouldn't have, because he really was good.
Maybe we'll feel that way about you in years gone by.
Oh, Jay Manning retires in 15 years? You guys made fun of me and how he was so good.
No, I'm just saying you as a human being, not about who you like.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
We might feel that way when we're like 75 and you're...
Yeah. That'd be nice. That'd be nice to
You're trying to say
put on my tombstone there,
You're trying to say after he's dead, then we might...
No, I'm trying to pick a year when he's dead. I'm thinking 70.
I was trying to be a little bit humble here and make it somewhat of an apology here, so... I'm just saying, I'm sorry I made fun of Peyton all those years. He's actually... He's one of the best, and you can't deny that, so... Good on you for cheering for him.
Well, I think he'll do fine. Anyways, so we're going to go to our... NHL awards talk. Before we get to that, we're going to introduce our guest, and if you want to be a guest on Beer League Sports Banter, please retweet, share on Facebook, do all the shit that everybody else does. We just want to get our show out there and help us do that and help you get on the show and drink my alcohol.
You're just a lucky hat draw away from being sitting right here.
It really is.
And there's only one person, it's not even a hat draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Say that one. Of the 15, if you're that one pulled, then you're lucky.
I mean, I went out and specifically bought this guy groceries so we could have our own Caesar bar tonight. So let's welcome to the show. He used to have his own Blue Jays blog and sports talk, Jason Knox, and he can tell us a bit about himself.
Welcome
Welcome to the show, G.
You took a
Gentlemen,
break.
you know I worked with Lilo for 10 years.
Yeah.
Sitting
That's
beside
right.
him and arguing sports is pretty
Go ahead
much.
and tell everybody your favorite sports teams and your liquor tonight.
Jays, Caesar. Thanks, Jordy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
I thought it was really
Above
nice.
and beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And I'm
set
gonna
up
take
a whole
advantage
Caesar
of
bar.
it
You
too.
should.
Jays, Detroit Lions, Oilers. It's been a rough go.
Those last two in a rough go, yeah.
Michigan Wolverines when it comes to the
College.
college.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
right.
over the Wolverines, but
Get
that's
some wins
the
there.
usuals.
Oh,
Once in a while.
Big Rider guy, too. So I don't care.
Yeah, you know what? I only watched one game this
I
year.
watched a quarter of football last
I watched till Darien blew out.
Yeah,
Whatever
he's a
you
killer.
Literally,
Disappointing.
I did not watch a game
Oh,
after
that
that till
sucked.
the wife and I took the kids to one late in the year because nobody was going. You could like $5. So we went and they won that one. They won 3 all year and they won the one we went
Hey, you're a
to. I
little
could've-
clutch.
a little more excited about it this year, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
all my thing on the Riders I can say is after they won a Grey Cup on their home field, what more are they going to do
Yeah,
except
exactly.
entertain me?
I agree.
I've
totally
kind of
agree.
seen that. Seen it.
Well, when they open up the new stadium next
Yeah,
year
that'll
and
be a
stuff,
big hit, yeah.
They
that's-
better win because I don't care if they open up a new stadium. If you're not winning after a
Yeah.
couple years, people aren't going to go.
Yeah.
I think with Jones and everything, I think he's going to turn.
It'll be interesting.
Oh, it'll be
It'll
something
be
to pay
fun.
attention to.
But look
I mean,
how
they-
it was 10 years ago when they were strong. They couldn't draw.
I tell you, I
Nobody
tell
there,
this
hey?
story all the time to everybody who said, I know we're talking right, but whatever.
Yeah. Well,
It's all
I
good.
tell the story all the time. My sister and I went to season openers in 2000 and 2001. Both times we walked up, not to the gate, to the scalper outside and got tickets for $20 and sat 2 rows behind the visitors bench on like a 40-yard line.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. I know we're the best fans in the world, and I hack on Rider fans because they're such douchebags
Yeah.
about it.
I get it.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're the best in the world. Not when you go back to back 5 and 14.
Yeah.
You got better
You'll
things to
find
do.
out
I got
when
better
you're-
things to do. I'm not dropping $400 taking my family to
No.
a football game. I'll
Yeah.
spend Sunday afternoon at the park.
But-
But CFL into the mix.
Yeah, it's the first time ever, so that's all right.
Yeah, we got some
Thanks,
talks
Lilo.
for
We'll get there. We'll get there in June. Don't worry.
Nah,
about it.
maybe.
See,
Yeah,
let's
let's
see
see
how
how
it
it
starts.
starts.
No, we're not
I
going to
can't.
get into it as in depth as what
There's
something.
nothing to break down until
No.
June.
Exactly.
Really.
I'm just waiting for about the end of August, third week of August. And you guys are in for a storm with that college football stuff. Well,
Yeah.
You know what he's you know it's March and he's sitting at home breaking down the line.
Oh, yeah.
Toledo and Akron in October in the
no, I started on the SEC. I've only got them done so
Yeah.
far. I work on
Toledo's
the Mac.
+6.
I
if
work
you
on the
wanna
Mac
take
in
it.
about July. I work on the Mac conference. So
We're
I'm not
all
there yet.
over it.
College football
Yeah.
jersey in
Yeah.
March.
It's a Tillman. It's
a
Tillman.
Tillman,
Also,
yeah.
I'll
It is Tillman,
give you a
Yeah.
good.
I gotta talk about. Yeah, we'll
All
get into
right.
that later.
Anyways,
It might come up.
NHL. Let's
All
go to the NHL. We're not going to talk playoff race. Like I said, we're going to move playoff race to probably next week because it's going to probably heat up by then.
Yeah.
We're going to see what our favorites are for NHL awards. There's some good races out there. I think Calder Trophy is probably a good race. Selke is an interesting race. Norris, there's probably usual suspects. But we're going to start the... What?
So hopefully not usual winners.
Well, no, I said usual suspects,
know,
usual
all right.
candidates. How's that for a word? But we're going to start the topic off with the Hart Trophy because it is the MVP of the league. So let's go with your guys' candidates, I guess, for the Hart Trophy. What would you guys nominate for that winner?
I think right now it's obviously Kane.
Yeah.
And second runner, I got to go with Ovechkin.
Yeah?
I mean, it's not like he's having the greatest year of his career, but the team is. And he's the leader of that team. So
He's got, what, 41, 42 goals?
41
41?
goals.
Yeah.
He's leading the league in goals.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Kane's the obvious front runner.
he's got 16 assists with those 41 goals.
20 assists.
26.
It's not much.
Not even a point a game, but
Yeah. Anyway.
I can't disagree. I mean, I don't know. I'm like the baseball mentality. It should go to a team that's winning. So They're the best team in the East. Somebody from Washington. I don't know.
They're the best team in the league, right? Points?
Yeah, well, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I threw in, go for it, the Russian name.
Kuznetsov.
Yeah, I threw him in there.
Look, I even
just
put the
'cause
dots
I know
over
you
your
put the
U.
dots in there because.
even got- what are
Phonetically spelled
I
it
know.
out for
What
me.
are those things called again? Those little.
You're supposed to say the thing on the U.
Finnish dots.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hard-
there's
hard-
an actual name for it.
Yeah.
But that's priceless. Like,
I mean, he's
And he still couldn't do it.
no.
he's a point a game. He's plus 30. You got Ovechkin with 41 goals. So I got somebody from Washington being in the top 3 for the Final for the Hart. I just don't know who it is yet. But
Who do you have from Dallas being in the
well,
top?
that's Jamie Benn, obviously.
Oh.
He takes his team from out of the playoffs to being first in the West. Like,
Carries
come
him
on.
on his back.
Obviously, he
Yeah,
does. He plays everything.
the only good player.
Short-handed points.
So much. The
He's
best
got
player
5
in the league.
short-handed
Best
points.
player in the
He
league.
is for sure.
Yeah,
That's
I-
why he's
I
one of the
agree.
first tops in Canada.
Yep. Anyway.
Why would you not have him there?
Knox?
Who won the?
You know what? This might be a beer league moment because I'm actually going to partially agree with him on this
With
one.
Ben?
With Ben.
Yeah.
Because if you took Ben off that team's not making the playoffs.
No, I agree.
That's
Because that
how I
team
look-
has a terrible defense.
Yeah.
They have terrible goaltending. Sagan's
Brutal.
good, but I mean,
Brutal.
whatever.
Yeah,
gold.
Spets
But I
is
mean-
kind of beyond the hill.
And
Yeah.
Spets,
Yeah.
Spezza
Spence is beyond the
can't.
whole.
Spezza can't carry
Well,
that
I know.
team, and
Well,
neither
right,
can
I
Sagan.
mean, I'm
Sagan's the
saying-
second fiddle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's good, but
Yeah.
But if you put Sagan to a wing with Spezza, it's not that bad of a
No,
combination.
but it's only
Not
one line
horrible.
then.
No.
You got
Yeah.
Spets on your second line still, and you got those Ben and Sagan on the first line.
No,
Like,
I'm
if you
saying
take
if
one of
Ben
those
wasn't
guys
on
off-
the team, is
Right,
what I'm getting
that's
at.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I don't think that team's I think that team's not a playoff
Yeah.
team without him. But
Well-
I don't think they're a playoff team anyways.
I don't think they're going to
Close.
make any noise.
No,
That's
they're
a
not.
good point.
No.
But
I agree
pardon
with
me,
you.
In the other side, Kane. If you took Kane off that team,
They're still good.
they're still good.
Yeah.
They're still
See, I
good.
agree
Yeah,
with you
But
on
he's
that.
the
You're
best
not
player
wrong.
on a good team.
Yeah, and he's by far like what's he 16 points ahead of whoever's
Yeah,
in
he's
second.
way-
Like
yeah.
he's by
He's got
far
89,
like he's
yeah.
having an unreal
See, that, I
year.
agree with you
But
on
a
that.
lot of his
The way I look at
goals
it-
were empty net goals, right?
Yeah, he's probably
Like
got
when he
10 net
continued
goals.
his
Yeah,
that
goals,
many?
You
He's
can't-
got quite a few.
You can't
He had
win
a bunch
dime
of
over
them.
that. Ben has 5 empty net goals too. I'm not going to
Yeah.
nickel down over
Yeah.
those. But I look at it the same way you do. I think you take the player per se that's in and running off that team. Are they still that good? That's how
Yeah.
I judge a Hart.
The only thing is they're not. I don't think you're going to look at the Dallas Stars and think at the end of the year you're not going to look at the end of the regular season and think that was like the best, one of the best teams. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their team had a good record and had a
Yeah.
good year.
Oh.
And, who knows? Anything can happen. But you're not going to look at it and go, "Holy crap, what a great
So-
year Dallas had
Oh,
because of Ben."
So you have
Oh, yeah.
Anaheim, who's having a good year now. You take Getzlaff on that team; they're not in that running.
No.
Getzlaff
So
made
is
them
he a
what
Hart
they are as
candidate?
of...
Getzlaff didn't
He's-
even do anything till Christmas.
No,
Yeah, but
well, that's
now
when they
he's
started
carrying
on
the
yeah.
team.
They
He's
started on their
true.
run
So
to
you
Christmas,
take
yeah.
Getzlaff off.
Yeah.
He's not a hard candidate.
He's in my top 5. I don't know the top 3 guys, but he's in the top 5.
I just think, but when a guy's that close to the top of scoring and did what he did last year and looked the final day, didn't he take over the scoring race on the final
Yeah,
day?
4
Like just
points.
an unreal game
Yeah.
and he had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
That to me, that says a lot about him.
What about Joe Thornton? Like he's a dark horse. I
I
understand.
thought Pavelski. I don't know. San Jose's.
Pavelski or Thornton.
I was thinking if you're going to pick somebody
They're-
from
they're-
Washington, what are the chances they throw Holtby in the mix?
Holtby's dynamite. I have him in
Not
Vezina.
that he's, I
he's
know a
good
lot
in
of
the
his
Vezina.
wins are shootout wins, but
I don't know if he's.
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't even
I
have
don't
him in
think
Vezina.
so.
I don't know. I think
Oh,
Crawford.
Crawford
It's
is.
close. It's
I
one
think
between him
so
and
too.
Crawford. Crawford's got 7 shutouts.
He's got the best save
Yeah.
percentage, the most shutouts.
He doesn't have the best
Yeah,
save
I-
percentage. Crawford does.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
it's
Oh
what he's
yeah.
saying
Oh
Crawford
yeah.
has
So
best.
it's even the Vezina, but I don't know.
What are your
that way.
nominations? Did you say?
My Hart nominations: Kane, Ovechkin, Thornton, Pavelski, and Ben as my last option. Reluctantly.
Yeah, you'll
Reluctantly, Ben.
take 2 guys off the Pacific team that beats up on the Oilers and the Flames and the Canucks every fucking couple games,
Right.
but you won't take a guy that plays Chicago, St. Louis, Nashville, and the good teams every year. Whatever, that's your
That's your
opinion.
argument with everything.
Yeah.
That's your opinion.
Oh my God!
That was your
Yeah,
argument with James.
All right. Are they even first in that division, in that shitty division? No, Anaheim is. What are they?
Yeah,
Yeah, and LA's ahead of them, are they?
Yeah,
So
they're-
you've
2 points
you have a
behind,
third
but that's
place team in the
fine.
Pacific with 2 MVP
But
guys.
yeah, well, Let's go
Really?
through the standings.
Dallas is first in their fucking
Yeah,
conference.
right. And
or
what's
their
Dallas's
division.
record in their last 10 games?
Who gives a fuck? They're first in their
They're
fucking
fucking
conference.
losing. Chicago's going to take them right over.
Yeah, because they know they got it wrapped up, so they're taking the foot off the pedal.
Yeah,
they
that's
got
what it
fucking
is.
4 guys
That's
hurt
what
on
they-
D.
that is a terrible argument.
Klingler hasn't played in
That
4
is a
games.
terrible
That's a horrible
Worst
argument with 14 games
Ah,
left in the
fine.
season.
Worst
They're
argument
wrapped
I've
up.
heard.
All right, let's take our foot off the gas. We got 15 games
Yeah,
left.
guys,
They
we
don't
got
get
this
anything.
wrapped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, we got fucking
Yeah, Minnesota's coming on. They're
Yeah.
8-0.
Minnesota lost to Edmonton tonight. Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, I meant
Yeah, they're coming
Nationals
out
By the way,
strong.
the
Nationals
Oilers are a
8-1.
beast on the road all of a sudden. Just
Yes.
thought I'd throw that out there.
fucking
they're not.
you're such a
They're not a beast
fucking
anywhere.
donkey. Oh, Dallas started the greatest team ever.
They're first in
played.
the fucking West. What do you mean I'm a donkey? You're calling me out for a team that's first in the West. You're like
But-
Moser the other night. Lift me up because Montreal beat him. I was like,
No,
okay,
I
where is-
ain't like that. I'm
You're
flipping
pretty
you
much
off
being
because
like
there's
him.
teams that are actually playing better than
Who
Dallas
gives a
right now.
fuck right now?
Out
They're
of
still
their
right
fucking
there.
division.
They're still winning games.
Out of
They're
their
still getting
division.
points.
Fuck off.
They're still getting points. They're still
Jesus
winning games.
Christ.
They're still first in their fucking
They're
whole West.
they're not going to finish first.
How do you know that? There's
No,
14
they're not.
games left.
I don't think
They're not finishing first because their goaltending's fucking terrible.
They're
Their
going to be
defense sucks.
terrible for the last 3 years. They've still done okay.
You know, if all of a sudden Dallas has to run through, Edmonton, Calgary,
Edmonton,
Vancouver, and
Calgary,
Winnipeg,
yeah.
there's a pretty good chance they
Yeah.
could string 4 or 5 together.
I don't know if they can beat Edmonton.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
either.
Talbot's hot.
I don't either.
I know I got them in fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Oh,
they're
wait,
not.
I'm
You know
still-
what? The
our team
greatest
plays
part
in
is,
fantasy.
as an Oiler fan, the greatest part is if I have to hear one more dickhead remark about the first pick in the draft,
I
which they're
fucking
not
hate
going to
it.
get this
No,
year. They got lucky last year.
If they get it, trade it. That's all I want to
They
hear.
should.
Yeah.
Or trade somebody else and draft Matt.
Package that with Nugent, and you should be able to get yourself a number one
Islanders,
team. at home.
Islanders, Hamnick. Hamnick wants to move to the West. I've been saying that
That's
for
an
8
off-season
weeks now.
move. I'd make that
Well,
an
right,
off-season.
that's what I mean.
That's
Yeah,
an off-season.
that's
But-
draft table make that move.
Look,
Yeah.
Darnell Nurse is going to be good.
Right.
I love Nurse. His
He's a
attitude.
beauty.
Oh,
He's a beauty.
he is the way. Look, we're going to get a little off topic here because of what happened to Nurse. He got his 3-game suspension here today, but
Was it 3?
it
Yeah.
was 3. Yeah, it was according to the rule. He got what the rule
I
gave
can't
him.
figure out those suspensions.
I thought it was supposed to be just one.
Everyone's
No, it's
different.
supposed to
Seems
be
like,
Like, I don't know how he got 3.
yeah. Well, if you
Look.
fight in the last 5 minutes, it's
It's
one
a
game
game.
for sure.
And then
But
on
he
the
caused
end,
he caused damage, so he gets another game for that for some
Yeah,
reason.
there was
I don't
something
understand
about-
that.
Trying to continue to hurt someone
Yes.
when they're down. Or
Yeah.
Oh, he
whatever.
beat
I don't-
the shit out of him.
Well,
Yeah, it was a
here's
beautiful thing.
I
It
loved
was.
it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I have no problem
It
with
was
that.
cheap, but I haven't seen Oilers do that. in 5 years.
Exactly. Yes.
And it's your 21-year-old
Yeah.
defenseman, rookie
yeah.
defenseman
Make it a
doing that.
statement, yeah.
He's
Like who said, or we were talking
This might
off
not
camera.
even count as
Was
his
that-
rookie year. Like he's
Yeah,
playing.
we're sitting here talking off camera, and you're like, you can bet. You were saying Hall. I bet you Hall, McDavid, everybody's up on that
Yeah.
bench.
Oh,
going,
that whole
yeah,
bench
Fuck
was-
yeah, this guy's got my
guy.
back.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
So
And that's
David,
good. That's
yeah,
what
they
you need. That's
exactly-
a
They haven't had it for
point.
5 years.
It makes me like
They've
as
had-
much as the Oilers. I'm sorry, Knox. The Oilers displease me in
Oh,
life.
they really?
Yes.
Imagine what they do for their actual
Well, they're
fans.
for their fans. Yes, I
Poor
get it.
guys, like I
But
said a million times.
I'm saying this has got to bring something to the Oilers to have a guy
They've
who's
been
willing
kind of
to
playing like
stand
that
up
all
for.
year, though.
I agree with
Like
that.
that's the difference between this year. This year is actually year 1 of your rebuild.
Yes.
Because up until like 2010, they were still that team that was like, well, we're 4 points out of a playoff spot at the end of the year. And then they cratered, got Hall. But then after you get Hall and Nuge and Yak 3 years in a row, and you still can't get it together. Then they got rid of the house, which is
Nugent-
5 years
Even
too
the
late.
management thing helps, like bringing in
Yeah.
Holland.
You got Chiarelli in there, and
Chiarelli.
as soon as they blew
Get
it
rid
up,
of
that's
fucking
year 1.
McTavish, you get rid of Lowe,
rid of
those
those
fucking
guys.
idiots that
Well,
fucking are.
especially
Oh,
the
those guys
thing
bug me.
is getting rid of Loa from the presidency
Just-
and
yeah.
bringing in the guy
Yeah.
from Hockey Canada again. Bob Nicolation.
Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing him in and being your president and having Lowe go to a minor role, that builds the Oilers up
Oh.
from the
It
base.
helps.
You can tell.
It helps
He really
them
knows
so
what
much.
he's doing.
What do you guys got for Norris Trophy candidates? Defenseman, because I
Norris
figure this should be a
could
good
get good.
a
Carlson's
good
gonna
debate.
win.
Carlson's not
We
going to
need
win.
Chad here tonight.
I think Carlson will win too,
No.
but I like
Fuck.
Burns.
Burns is winning.
I got Burns, and I
Burns
got
is
Doughty, I got Carlson third.
Doughty second, Carlson.
Doughty needs a fucking Norris. The guy's been over. Look at his team. He's won 2 cups.
Well,
he's in
Doughty's
the playoff
fucking
every
good.
year. He plays in the West Coast, which nobody watches
That's
because
why.
everybody's the East. Fucking
Yeah.
Toronto. You got
That's
New
why
York.
Burns won't win
Nobody
either. That's why
watches.
Carlson will win.
It's bullshit. Carlson's not
sucks.
even a plus defenseman. I mean, yeah, plus minus is whatever. Yeah, he gets his points, but you know what? If you want to give points for defensemen, have a Bobby Orr award for defenseman. Give it to the highest scoring defenseman. It should not be for fucking points. It should be for a good defenseman is what it should be.
I understand.
Carlson's not a good defenseman.
He's not good defensively. He's
Are
awful
you
defensively.
ridiculous?
Okay, look at how shitty he is. His plus minus is brutal.
He's minus
every fucking
4.
year. Yeah, what was
Minus
it?
4.
Minus 4 on
Ottawa.
a
2 years ago he was
average team.
2 years ago he was minus 16. You got his stats in front of you. I guarantee you.
I got
What
this
is
year.
it?
I don't care.
Go
We're
back-
talking about this year.
Yeah, okay, but he won the Norris 2 years ago. He's minus 16. How do you win at fucking Norris when you're minus 16?
He
Carlson
probably
is,
doesn't spit on people to start
Sorry,
with.
that was bad. That was a good shot. I can't even hit you from here.
Carlson
anyways.
is not winning the Norris this year. There are better candidates.
There's
for
way
the
better
Norris than Erik Karlsson.
defensemen. I don't know.
If
Doughty's been
defensive
snubbed.
defenseman won it every year, Charlie Huddy would have 8 Vezina
Yeah.
trophies.
Exactly.
It's
Well-
not all about defense.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, have a mix. Have a
It's an
Doughty.
all-around
Okay,
game.
Doughty hasn't won one. Weyburn hasn't won one. They're way
Doughty
better
is the
defensemen
defenseman,
than
yeah.
Carlson is.
No.
Yeah, they are. Carlson has 2. How do those guys not have any?
Carlson has 3, I think, actually.
No, he doesn't. He has 2. Shea Weber is 10 times the defenseman that Erik
But
Karlsson
there's always take a group of time in like 6-7 years. There's always 6 or 7 guys that are good enough to win, and there's always 2 or 3 that win them.
is. Every year, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Coffee and Bork used to win in the
Lidstrom,
80s, and there was
Lidstrom,
Lidstrom,
yeah.
and there was guys
Yeah.
that could easily won.
Yeah.
There was good
Well, same with the
defensemen.
Selk you were talking. We don't really know it. Bergeron's won 3 of the last 4, and Taves has won a couple. It's like it's gonna be those 2 probably again in the running, but I don't know. It's just it bothers me that those guys don't get a shot because they play in the last.
I don't know
preseason.
why
There's
no
a lot
one
of
is,
truth to that, though.
why is no one saying Brett Burns?
I said Brett Burns
Oh, I
on my
said
list.
Burns.
You
Well, no,
both
I'm
did.
saying-
I'd like
As
to
your
see
first.
Burns win,
I'd
but
love
I think
to
it's
see
going to
Burns
be
win.
Carlson. I think it'll
I
be
don't think
Carlson.
it'll be
No,
Carlson.
I think it's
I don't
between
know.
Carlson and Doughty. Burns is...
Burns has 20. He has what? 24 goals.
Better plus minus, more.
And he only has 7 power play goals, which means he has fucking 17 regular strength goals, which is pretty good for a D-man.
I agree.
You know what
Oh,
a
no,
lot
he's-
could shake
he's
out
good
on
for
that
sure.
is if the Sharks keep finishing strong.
And
Yeah.
they are finishing.
Like
so
if
they're
they go
playing
what
good.
11-3-1 in the last 15 games they played, that's going to raise some eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because you know Ottawa's not making the playoffs.
Well,
They'd have to
Did
go. I
Ottawa
think they
probably
got
not.
last
They
year.
gotta-
did Ottawa?
They got
lost
their
a
they got
couple
their shit
weeks.
handed to
What?
them tonight.
Did they?
Yeah.
They were down 4-2. I
They
Six.
think.
won?
6-2 or something
Did
like
they,
that.
oh, they got
Hopefully,
smoked, didn't they?
Trocheck
Yeah.
got some points.
Yeah, they're pretty much done. I think now they lost
Pretty
tonight.
close
They're-
to
yeah.
done.
they're-
Yeah. Well,
So there you go. You can't give the Norris to a guy on a losing fucking team.
You take him off that team.
And they're even worse. Big deal. They're still in the
That was your
playoffs.
argument for the Hart.
Yeah, but it's different for the Heart.
Well,
The Heart is my candidates for the Heart are in the playoffs. Ottawa's not in the playoffs, so Carlson is off my list because they're on the playoffs. It's the same thing. It is.
I think he's going to win.
No,
He's gonna
not a chance.
Carlson.
I mean, he's a point a game. It's impressive,
I
but
don't think Carlson's winning.
Burns isn't that far behind. He's got 68 points to 60.
Yeah, he does. He's doing that.
And he's got way fucking more goals. He's got 24 goals to 11 goals. Like, I think Brett Burns, like, he's...
Carlson does lead the league in assists though too, which
Yeah,
is a
like
pretty. When you say you're leading the league in something, that's a pretty hefty
It is.
stat to be leading
Yeah.
the league in.
I'm not gonna deny he's good. I'm not saying he's shit here.
I don't
I'm
think
saying
a
he's
Norris candidate should come from a non-playoff team.
No.
I don't think any awards candidate should come
No,
from a
I'm
non-playoff
agreeing
team.
with
Depends.
that.
I
It
don't
depends.
agree.
I don't agree. If you have a year where you're that much ahead, like that
you're
would
that
would-
much ahead,
that
he's
would
only 8
that would
points ahead.
apply to Carlson in
He's
this
not-
position.
Yeah, he's
But
only
if you have a
consider
year where
any
you're that
award.
much head and
Yeah.
shoulders ahead,
Yeah.
of
yeah,
Like,
you
okay,
could
so-
miss the playoffs next year. McDavid put up
Yeah.
120
I-
points.
yeah, I agree.
He's not your
I
captain,
get that.
something's wrong.
I'm sorry,
I
I
was
get
just gonna
that.
say
Yeah.
that.
But if you're that much ahead, Carlson isn't.
He's
isn't
not that
much
much far ahead of Burns.
So
No. and his
if you
team's not
take a
even
team
there.
going to the playoffs over a team that finished 10 points out of the playoff race,
You have to look at the
but why are you
supporting
looking
cast
at
too.
why are you looking at what the team is instead of the player?
Because
We're
the
talking about
player
best
makes-
defenseman.
player
We're talking about
helps
the best-
make
Yeah,
your
but if
team.
you're gonna
That's
be
a
the
good
best
helps
player
make
on
your
that
That's a
team,
good point for Norris, though.
Yeah.
That's a good point for Norris. For MVP, you have to look at the team a little bit. That's a good point for Norris. If you're looking at
Same
Norris,
with
you're just
the-
looking at defenseman on his own.
Same with
well,
the rookie.
right, but it's the
Oh,
best.
he's got to help
Are
your
you
team.
saying the
Yeah, it's the
Why
best
would the
defenseman.
defenseman not help your
If
team?
the best defenseman's not getting the team to the playoffs, what the fuck good is it?
Exactly. That's why you don't see a
Because
non-playoff
he doesn't
goalie
have
make.
two
win the
two
best
lines
one.
in front of him.
Well,
Ottawa doesn't have a good.
That's
First,
exactly
second
the
line.
point. If you don't have a good forward system, You don't put up a lot of goals. Your goaltending's
But you got a
okay,
D-man
but
that's your leading scorer on your team.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's true in a way, but I'm still not giving the guy the notice over something like that.
I don't know. All right.
It'll be close.
Vesna talk. Vesna.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
I got Holtby, Schneider, Crawford, Bishop. Anybody else?
I had that same list until Schneider went down, and once he got hurt, it's kind of
2 weeks. It's at 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but he's down the stretch run the last 2 weeks. He's
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
be,
Devils are fucked.
he's pretty much a shot horse, so he's kind of out of it, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because he was kind of my front runner. Like, he has the best numbers, best save percentage, and he doesn't have a great team in front of him. He doesn't have he doesn't have Ovechkins and Taves and Canes in front of him, and he was my front runner for the Vezina, but now I
think it's Crawford.
think it's Crawford, dude.
Like you say, it has a good team in front of him. Crawford has the second most shots against out of any goalie in the league.
And he has 7
And he has the
shutouts.
best save percentage.
He has the most shutouts in the league.
Most shutouts.
Do you know what I
second
think's
most shots
gonna?
against.
You know what I think's gonna change things? Is just looking. I know it's arbitrary in a way, but if you look at Holtby's record, that's gonna stick out to
The
people.
wins,
who are going,
that's why I
like if
thought the
Holtby
wins-
picks up
Holtby's-
6, 7 more
yeah,
wins, and he's got
50
40,
wins.
he's 48
Yeah.
and 10 or something like
Yeah.
that. People are gonna look
Breaks-
at that and go, "Holy crap!"
Braceburger's record.
And I'd pick Crawford too,
yeah.
but I think Holtby. is gonna
Holtby
win.
or
Yeah.
Crawford is.
Yeah, if you just look at wins and losses,
I think it's
like
between those two.
41 and 8 to,
That's
know.
pretty impressive.
that
I mean,
is-
it's like
yeah.
a pitcher's record. You take
Yeah.
it, whatever.
Right,
but-
yeah. But then you look at the other numbers and they're kind of close, and like 35-60 is not far off, and 7 shutouts over 2 shutouts. Like, fuck, I don't know.
Crawford's,
Tough.
Crawford's better than people let on to. He makes big saves
Yeah,
in big spots.
yeah.
He's kind of like, I don't know, it's a tough comparison because he's not Grant Fuhr, but like Grant Fuhr would let in a lot of goals, but Grant Fuhr would make
Like
a
the save,
huge
the third
save when
period,
that save
yeah.
needed to be made.
5
He's got
minutes
a
left
couple
in the
rails
third.
and-
Yeah, he went back to the bench. He got saved and they're called.
Second intermission, let's go, baby.
Do you remember his post-game interviews? His eyes are darting all over
Yeah,
the place.
I got a
like
fucking
this.
hockey card. I didn't even know at the time. I was like
He's got
a
a
kid.
Jerry curl going on.
No, I was a kid, and like I didn't know what it meant. But my dad was looking at my hockey cards. It was like a 1990 Pro Set something. He says, "Man, like Grant Fuhr, he's got fucking white shit around his nose on this fucking hockey card." I don't know. I haven't looked back now, but I think about it once. And I gotta find that card. I gotta look it up.
I just remember his post-game
Get inside,
interviews
yeah.
from back in the day.
I mean-
because I was a huge Oilers fan from the time I was little. And his post-game interviews were always like, and it stuck in my head. Like, I didn't know anything
Was
about
he
it.
really
Ryan is-
excited?
But his eyes were this big, and his pupils were always this big, and they were just darting all over the place. Yeah, we had a great game. He'd be doing that. And then when that came out, like, and I was like, oh, right.
Yeah,
That now
yeah.
it makes
But
sense.
This is all allegedly,
Yeah, did it
by the
really
way.
come out, or
Should
was
we know that?
it just hearsay?
No, it
kinda
came
came
out.
out.
'cause
No,
I
it
think
did, yeah, it did.
It was a
Someone
story.
was talking
He,
about
like,
that,
he had to go
Grant
into,
Fuhr.
I think he went into a little bit of a rehab.
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah,
he took
yeah.
some time away
Yeah.
from the game and then came back.
That was when I first started watching.
Before he
I
went
was
to
like,
Buffalo or
Yeah,
something.
90s, 90s. Yeah, that was when I first started watching hockey.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Oh, speaking of that, and we're not getting into that yet.
No,
Dave.
I don't know what the fuck you're even leading into, but
So we all agreed that Crawford or Holtby.
I got Holtby.
Yeah.
I want to see
Bishop's
Holtby.
out. I had him as my third guy, but
Yeah.
he's, yeah.
I got him
It
as
is
my
between
fourth.
those two horse race.
Fourth.
What were the odds on Holtby at the beginning of the year?
Oh,
They
I
would've
don't
been
even know.
really
Probably
good.
pretty
Probably-
good.
probably pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
I would have never.
No,
I would've
no.
never-
Oh, I had.
Last guy I thought,
You know
yeah.
what? I had a
Would've
Holtby
thought.
before Smith back in 2014 for a Canadian third string goalie. I've liked Holtby since he's come to the league, but
He played well in the playoffs when he popped.
Yeah, he did a
in.
couple
Like,
years
when he
ago,
popped
yeah.
in, he was
Yeah.
all right.
But
Well,
the
was
thing
that?
with Holtby is he sucked at Canadian camp. Eh? Like he sucked, and then he sucked to start the season before they picked their Canadian team. And ever since then, he's matured. And
Yeah.
obviously, I'm biased
No,
being
but
a
Trotz,
Saski.
Trotz's D system fucking helped out a lot too.
But even before Trotz, when they had
Yeah.
Baldhead
Boudreau.
yeah, he
Yeah, he had a couple.
Holtby
good-
played 70 games a year.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a good run that one.
They're
year,
not. They've never not been a good team. I don't know. I've always really liked Holtby. He's been a workhorse, and he's from Saskatchewan / Alberta, whatever side of.
No, he's from the Saskatchewan side.
Exactly.
Yeah, fucking right he is. Don't even debate that.
Well, whatever.
We'll claim him.
He is. He clearly said. He said it himself.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan side.
It's a border city, so let's.
He'd go to the Alberta side to drink.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
Why wouldn't you?
That's-
we're talking about Lloyd
Send the
Minster. If you
feelers,
guys don't know what we're talking about, yeah. We'll
Lloyd
clear it up.
Minster,
Yeah. Make sure
Hey.
we let people know.
Rookie of the year.
rookie of the year. Okay, well, I'm gonna lead off rookie of the year. I got Panarin. I actually got Goss to spare, Panarin, McDavid, and then Gibson is my 4, and that's the order I have them in. That Goss to spare has been really good on Philly's D. I don't know.
I think he's gonna win it.
I think he is, unless McDavid goes 2 points a game from here on out.
Even if he does, I don't think he's gonna get it.
Well,
Well, I shouldn't say that.
look.
He's played 2 months, and both months he was named Rookie of the Month.
Exactly.
They
So-
might give it to him just because
That-
he's the face of the
He
NHL.
scored the game winner tonight,
Even
too.
their record with him
Did he?
has been way
Yeah.
better.
Oh!
I'm pretty
Kentucky
sure it was
Fried
him.
Turkey, what's up?
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Anyways.
And he's got, like, just, and like he always comes
not
off the wing
anyways.
and just snipes.
And I
He's
see
so
something
good.
tonight that they've had like 18 different guys playing with him, so it's not like he has a.
Yakupov looks amazing playing with him, I'm just saying.
Look-
Everly-
playing
Everly, I
with
thought,
him.
or-
Playing with him.
Yeah, with
But
him,
not
yeah.
playing with anybody else.
But if you put Yakupov
Yeah.
with him,
Just
Yeah.
think about that though.
You put Yakupov with him for the rest
Yeah.
of the year, get his value up, and then trade him.
Just think about that.
that
though.
might be the
If
plan.
you're putting
Yakupov is
If
playing
you're
well.
putting Yakupov with him and Yakupov's performing finally with somebody,
When you're taking
what does that say
McDavid,
about
who is,
McDavid?
how old's McDavid? 19. 19.
18.
He's the guy
18.
that you're putting with players to make them look
Yeah.
better.
No,
better.
but I'm saying is Yakupov
I'm not saying you're giving
is
him an award,
obviously not as good as what he was sold.
I don't
coming
buy
from
that
the O's.
actually. I just
No.
think I don't think they knew what they needed to do with him.
Oh, exactly.
No.
They
So-
should have got Murray in the
They should
first
have.
overall.
Yeah,
That's
they
what they
should've.
needed.
What I'm saying
But
is-
I
that's-
thought
that's your
Yakupov
old
was a
GM,
decent pick
that's-
too. I thought it was going to be okay, well, whatever.
I wanted to see Murray go.
I could have taken it either way, but now of course
should
hindsight, it's like, well,
No.
obviously Murray should have been the guy.
have been a D-man. Even Larson, I think. Well, though that was
They should have made a deal the year after that to work up and get Seth Jones.
But
they should
what
have
does that say about McDavid though? If you put Yakupov with him, who's been nothing for the last 3 years, and all of a sudden he's good, like that says McDavid's pretty
He's
special.
turned Eberle into
Yeah,
like,
Eberle-
not like Eberle was bad.
No, but he's helped
Eberle's
a
not
lot,
going to
too.
be a guy who's going to walk into the
Well-
regular season and own it. Eberle's going to be a guy once you get to the
Clutch.
postseason that is going to
Yeah.
clutch up. That's
Yeah,
what he can
that's
do.
what he
Score
does.
big
Yeah.
goals. Yeah,
That's what he's
yeah.
gonna
He's
do.
not gonna walk in and dish off
He's
somebody.
going to be like, I don't know, Nieuwendyk or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the guy who
shows up.
One
shows up in the
point on
playoffs.
Eberle I'd like to make is I had season tickets to the Pats for the two of the 3 years he was in Regina. I was quite disappointed in Pats fans that they weren't more sold out, I guess.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
after
some
at the
good
trade
talent there.
deadline that year.
They had Jordan.
And he said he wanted to stay.
Yes.
So you basically, and I don't know if the Pats even made the playoffs that
No.
year. did they?
No.
So you basically knew you had 10
Yeah.
more games at Eberle and they were only putting like
You
3,500
had
people in.
2 first rounders and a future. I think Jordan Wheels is going to
Wheels
be
a
okay.
third rounder. He
Yeah.
was, yeah, he bounced.
You know,
yeah.
Colton Tubert's turned out to be a bit of a dud, but
a bit.
Yeah, a bit.
I'm not-
He's
I don't-
I'm not going to say he's a dud, but I think
Yeah.
he just pumped
He's
like
not
ass
even
at the co-op.
He's
Yeah.
not even around.
Just
anymore,
saying.
is he?
just
I
saying.
forgot about him for the
He's-
last 5 years. Old
Yeah.
Dubert.
Got
He-
him.
he was
That's
drafted
what the
ahead
Oilers
of
got
everything.
for Dustin Penner when they dealt him. Yeah.
So,
There you go.
but I mean, the Oilers or the Pats had some good players, and I was quite
Yeah.
disappointed in the turnout that were at Pats games.
When he was still, yeah.
Like,
Especially a
And now they got a
local
guy
boy,
there
too, eh?
actually,
Giant
like
boy.
that Sam Steele,
Yeah,
who's going to be a pretty good hockey
I
player.
think so,
And I don't
yeah.
know if they're selling that joint out or not.
douchebag of the week, our number one segment on this show, at least in 3 of our minds, it's the number one segment on this show. As always, we're going to start with Warren Douglas. He's going to read off last week's winner of Douchebag of the Week. As voted from Twitter, we don't post it on Facebook, so we'll go with our Twitter poll that we had. Warren?
So last week we had Oilers fans, Washington Caps GM, Marc-Andre Fleury, and Toronto media. Washington Caps GM took the lead, 47% of the vote.
Oh yeah, Keller.
Toronto media second, 23%. Oilers fans with 18%, and 12% Marc-Andre Fleury. There was 17 votes.
So-
good turnout.
I made
Not
the
bad.
best argument. This guy. Just like the week before, he made the best argument. We figured it's who gets the angriest at the camera.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's so. Hopefully this week, we all get angry at the camera and you guys actually have something to vote on.
I got a good one, so let's hope
My-
so. You guys better
I
step
don't
up your
think my-
game.
I think I have a great argument. So, Warren, you can lead off Douchebag of the Week for episode 7.
My nominee this week is LeBron James. I mean, this guy's a good basketball player. We don't need your cryptic shit on Twitter. Like, you post stuff, it's this simple. You can't accomplish the dream if everyone isn't dreaming the same thing every day. Nightmares follow. Hashtag the DC. Nobody knows what the fuck hashtag the DC means. Nobody cares. Like, you're a basketball player, you're not a philosopher. We don't need to hear it. So, if you're going to come and go on Twitter and talk about your team, either just say something about your team, or better, not be a douchebag and don't talk about your team on Twitter. So, for that, LeBron James, you, sir, are a douchebag.
I agree. LeBron James is a bit of a douchebag for throwing his team under a bus on Twitter, unless,
It might not even be his team.
yeah, who knows? Cryptic shit is bullshit. I don't agree with cryptic shit on
Well, who does that? Like,
Yeah.
Nobody cares
these
what you have to say
athletes
on
nowadays, like Twitter's ruining stuff for guys. Like,
I-
just shut up. Just
No,
don't go
it's
on
not
there.
It's not.
Don't go on there and cut your teammates down. That's just way over.
How many hockey players do you see do that?
Well, they're cutting their
Kane?
teammates down.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't follow a lot of hockey players, but
Not
probably
many,
not
many
I'm
athletes
saying.
cut their teammates
Are
down
you
on
asking
Twitter,
me
but
like I don't really know an
The
answer.
point
I don't
I'm
think
getting,
any.
the point
Hockey
I'm,
players don't do it because
No.
it's Canada centric.
that's
Canadians
exactly
kind
it.
of back Canadians. Americans want to be the person they're talking about.
That's
so
right.
baseball, basketball,
That's-
football, they got no problem throwing shade at somebody. It doesn't matter if they're
That's
in
the
the same
point
sport.
I made in episodes 1 and 2 is that it's American athleticism versus Canadian athleticism. Us being Canadian, we respect the guys
More
that don't
humble,
do that
yeah.
shit.
They're more
Yeah.
on TMZ culture.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
yes.
LeBron James is for sure. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely one of the top.
I mean, I
players.
love LeBron James, but I mean, if you're gonna,
Yeah,
if
don't
you're
be-
I lost a lot of
don't be a
respect for him
clown.
for the way he
Don't be a-
runs.
No,
Yeah.
I
Don't
agree
be a
with you, Warren. I
douchebag,
think he's a
basically.
He's
douchebag.
funny
I wonder
when
if he
he's
actually
in
runs his
movies
own
and stuff.
Twitter.
Oh,
I wonder
sure.
if he probably hires probably.
I bet he does.
Maybe
know.
what Larry Hughes is retired, he probably runs his Twitter.
I'm guessing
Those
Jose
guys,
Batista
you never
doesn't
know.
run his own Twitter because he
There's
just
no
followed
way
me
he
last
follows.
week.
He followed
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
It's like,
He blocked
there's
me.
no way he's going. There's no way he's going. Oh,
Jordan
Yeah,
Lowe,
legit.
follow.
He
finally.
might run it though because he blocked
He
Lee.
did block me.
He did block
me. I am proud of that.
All right. Well, it's another reason.
Well,
why
I struck a
love
nerve.
Jose
Apparently,
Batista.
That's
I
right.
made a good point, I guess.
I've been meaning to do that for years.
Yeah, he just throws the balls like he does.
We changed the Twitter password so Lee can't post it.
Except for today.
Yeah.
Earlier
No,
today.
I don't do it from ours. I do it from my own. Yeah.
Okay, my douchebag of the week, Jared Tenorti, suspended 20 games by the NHL for violating the drug policy. It says that he tested positive for PED. So this guy's played a total of 53 games in the NHL in 5 seasons, with 6 total assists. So being called up, sent down, healthy scratched, whatever, anything of this could have possibly led to him doing this, although he did say he did not knowingly take a banned substance.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says,
Does it
yes.
say what it was though, or?
When I
Isn't that
looked,
the guy that the Canadians traded for John Scott?
that's right, yep.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's exactly the guy that...
So did the Canadians know he was going to test
Well-
positive and kick him out the door?
The NHL is clearing the Canadians of that aspect right now. Still no news on exactly what Tenorti was taking. In my book, I compare this to the movie The Program. If you guys have seen The Program, I'm sure everybody at this table has seen the movie The Program with
Should
Peter
have,
Lee
should
on
have,
hockey
yeah.
buses or whatever. One of the best movies ever made. But you remember the old lineman that he wasn't very good. Old lineman?
That was painting his face.
D lineman.
D lineman?
Is he D lineman? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
it's
we
deep.
know. Yeah.
Long hair with a
D-
painted
yeah,
face.
D-
Yeah.
And he was
He's a crazy
crazy.
motherfucker.
Lunatic paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
D
Smashed
lineman.
his head through the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Started
yeah.
first 3 seasons of college football on the practice roster, and then decides, you know what, I'm going to shove a needle up my ass, and I'm going to get
Get some oil changes.
Turns out he's lights out oil change. Good Blue Mountain.
Blue on eye.
Oh, I didn't even put that one in there. Wow. Anyways, so to me, I mean, like I said, we haven't heard what Tenori's accused of doing. It's just a performance-enhancing drug, but it seems an awful lot like the program where he wants to try to make himself better to get into the NHL. He's only played 53 games.
Right.
That's 10 games a fucking season.
Yeah.
Any one of us
Get a
could
little
play 10
quicker.
games a season and
I mean,
shit the bed.
yeah.
Really.
Look at it from his way. If he gets caught and he gets to play a few games,
Yeah,
he
what's
probably
the
still,
difference?
Or he starts going off and he gets a $3 million a year
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
you're going to be suspended. Whatever. I'm
Yeah,
cashing
yeah.
checks.
Exactly.
I signed my big check. Yeah.
I don't think that works the same as hockey as it does in other sports.
Yeah.
I don't know.
just
I don't think so, but
Depends what it is, though, I guess.
like of course, this is just me speculating. I don't know exactly what he was on. Nobody in the news knows what's going on, but something seems a little bit fishy in my book. So
Yeah, obviously.
for this week, my douchebag of the week is Jared Tenori. So you, sir, are a douchebag. Jason Knox, it's on to you.
I think this one's pretty self-explanatory for this week. Peyton Manning retires. Arguably, I wouldn't say he is, but the best quarterback, at least the smartest quarterback to
Yes.
ever play the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Now,
oh, yeah.
Montana's better. I mean, whatever. I'm old school.
Yeah.
But so on the day he retires, after his speech, or it might have been before his speech, I'm not 100% sure. Here's D'Angelo Williams, because he's going to the Hall of Fame, throwing out a tweet that says, "Oh, all this stuff about Peyton Manning." I don't have it quoted in front of me, but basically says he wasn't even good this year, and then puts the shit emoji in the fucking tweet. I'm sorry, but D'Angelo Williams, who wasn't even, I don't even think he played
He's
the
a
playoff
backup,
game.
I think.
He's backup
Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell.
yeah,
If Le'Veon
yeah.
Bell didn't get hurt, now listen, D'Angelo Williams had a great year. But Le'Veon Bell is the starter.
Yeah.
D'Angelo, you got run out of Carolina, who also
Yeah.
went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now you're the backup in Pittsburgh
Yeah.
behind Le'Veon Bell, and you're gonna, like, how many
Chirp.
years? 18 years in the league. Manning has every record almost you can ever think
Yeah.
of, and you're gonna chirp him like that?
Yeah.
Had to be called out by his coach. Tomlin tweeted him back, basically. I wish I had the quote in front of me, but Tomlin on a tweet was like, probably a good time to be quiet now. So, D'Angelo Williams, you are the douchebag of the week. You do not shit emoji a guy on his retirement day when he's a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Here's
Yeah.
the tweet. Look, Peyton is a Hall of Fame quarterback who couldn't play dead in a Western last year, but career overall is astonishing. But last year was shit emoji.
Yeah.
And then,
What
the
are you
smiley
doing,
face was like,
D'Angelo Williams?
over
Like, fuck, where are you going to be
But that's the, we just talked about it. What's
That's
the American
the
thing? You know what?
Yeah.
Peyton Manning's in there. How can I get my douchey
Yeah,
ass in
I
the
guess,
news?
I guess,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
going to throw out a shit emoji tweet.
Yeah.
And
About
then,
Peyton
Tomlin's
Manning.
taking him into the room and going,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
He'll probably get cut next
But
year.
we're talking about
He
D'Angelo
keeps
Williams.
going on about it, too. Like,
But
it
we're
wasn't
talking
just
about
one tweet.
D'Angelo
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah.
But nobody in NFL is thinking about
No.
D'Angelo
Yeah.
Williams
No.
when Peyton
That's the
Manning's
last
retiring.
guy on
He'd be
their
like,
mind right now.
hey, I'm going to come out and I'm just going to
Get
get all
my
over
name
it.
out there
Yeah.
so that
That's
ESPN is
classic
irate
douchebag.
that I
That's
get cut.
classic
That is.
American douchebag.
Yes. It is.
I will side with you, yeah.
Especially on a day the guy's retiring.
And you know Manning's just chuckling to himself, going,
Yeah.
"Who the fuck is
Yeah.
this?"
Yeah,
Williams?"
I got
You know?
2 Super Bowl
He's not one of the
rings
names
and,
I'm going to read off in
yeah.
my retirement
Yeah, I
speech.
know.
I got 95 Papa Jack pizzas that I own, and you go fuck
I'm gonna
yourself,
drink a Budweiser
D'Angelo
right now.
Williams.
Yeah.
That was douchey, actually. I will tip my hat to the douchiness of that. Don't say that, Peyton.
Whatever.
You've made millions in
You got
endorsements.
paid
Don't
for
be
it.
pumping that rag.
Who gives a shit?
But anyways, the guy's
You're a douchebag.
okay. So I have a clock on this one or no?
You got at least 3 minutes.
At least 3 minutes? Okay, where do I start? I got so much shit written down about this. Honestly, I started this with a small douchebag, and then it just progressed into fucking a lot more than I thought I could handle. So, basically, my douchebag was Nike Sporting Goods. because they cut
You gotta
Maria.
clarify,
Yeah.
Mike.
Well, it's whatever. You guys cut Maria Sharapova.
Sharapova.
I'm a rock.
You got it.
You got it.
Okay,
You got it.
you cut her endorsement deal because of her positive drug testing thing or whatever. But the more I looked into that, the worse it looked, because she was in the 5th year of an 8-year deal. So you guys found that as an easy way out, because she's been declining and hasn't been what she is. So you figured, what better times now? This is a free ride for us to cut the deal. But then when you look into the drug, it's
You got it written down.
Kuznetsov?
when I put it, you guys.
Like, if that's the only word
You got it written down.
It's
Oh,
meldonium.
There you go.
Yeah, which just became banned as of January 1st this year. And it's basically a drug for diabetes and heart issues, which, whether she has them or not, she claims to have them in a history of diabetes in her family, which, blah, 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 that's beyond the point. But the fact that it just became a banned substance this year, and she didn't, maybe she knew, maybe she didn't, she got emails, I've read a lot of crap. Basically, she should have checked the new updated banned substance list, and she didn't. So, basically, that's on her. And she called a press conference to... Everybody thought she was calling that to announce her retirement, is what I heard. And then she drops the bombshell that she admittedly pulled this press conference to say that she failed a drug test. So basically, she took this drug. It's for diabetes and heart problems, and that's been a history in her family. And you can buy it over the counter in Russia, which is where she's from. So it became banned, like I said, January 1st, blah, 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 all that crap. But what my issue is with Nike is pulling her endorsement deal because of this. Because if you look at Nike's credibility on their people that they are endorsing, they're endorsing Tiger Woods, which I'm sure we all know the story about that. They're endorsing John Jones still, even though he's had a hit and run incident, a alcohol driving related incident, and a cocaine failed drug test. So John Jones is out there snorting blow, and Maria Sharapova is doing this little heart booster, or whatever you want to call it, drug.
If Jones was snorting blow, that would have been like the day before his piss test. Like, that shit's not in your system very long.
I think he got caught with it.
No,
Wasn't there a police thing or something?
He failed the drug test a few days before it, but it's not banned by the UFC for
But
whatever reason.
all I'm saying is blow's only
doesn't
in your
show up
system
like
for
a
like
week
24 hours.
No, it's like a 3-day thing.
Yeah, it's not very long.
Yeah, so basically, yeah. So what does that say about Nike? It's like, yeah, we'll endorse this fucking doughhead, but Maria Sharapova.
Do you have Justin
I
Gatlin on
hate
that
her.
list?
I do have Justin Gatlin.
There's an extra I.
what was I
that
gonna
you're
do about
saying.
him?
They're missing.
Sharapova. And then, okay, on to my Nike thing. Okay, I'm out of my douchebag here. Guys, you're interrupting me. I'm sorry. Yeah, this, the guy Doofy brought up here, this Justin fellow, he signed a deal with Nike 1 year ago, and prior to that, he failed he's an American sprinter, if you guys didn't know. He failed 2 drug tests before that, before he signed a deal with Nike.
He's been suspended twice.
Yes, before that.
He might have
So-
even failed more than that.
So really, Nike, you're throwing the book at Maria Sharapova. Fuck, I hate that Russian word. Sharapova, after a failed drug test for a borderline banned substance that just came out in the open in the last month. And that's pretty douchey of you. And Phil Knight, I got a lot more things to say about you. I don't know if I have time to go on about that, but basically, Nike is my douchebag of the week. This is the way you guys handle yourselves, about how you guys are kind of hypocrites about, you let Tiger Woods and, you let Jones and all these other guys in there, and you just fucking cut Sharapova down for her willingly admitting, she didn't pull a Rafael Palmeiro. She didn't sit there and say, I have never ever taken steroids. She said she fucked up, and you guys just fucked her over in the end. So, for you guys, Phil Knight and Nike, Oregon, whatever you want to say. You guys are my douchebags of the week.
I just realized you'll never get Nike as a sponsor.
Never.
We
Not
might.
once.
We might.
One
Phil
other
Knight-
shitty thing about this whole thing, like, I was just reading, they have the governing body of tennis, I'm not sure men's and women's are the same. Andre Agassi tested positive in '97 for crystal meth.
Yeah, math. Yeah. He's
And
still
said that he
sponsored.
didn't knowingly take it.
Yeah, but then
And they said-
later
and
he
they-
did.
That happens to me all the
Yeah.
time.
All the
And then in his
I didn't
memoirs, he
know.
said that was a lie, he took it
Yeah.
on purpose.
But then later, a few years later, he admitted, he's like, yeah, I had no idea.
But
I just
you're,
lied about
like
it.
the thing about that is like you said, you're bang on. I read about it too. Like that, like January 1st, it became
Yeah.
It wasn't even on.
3 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't even on the first.
Yeah.
But it is her fault for not being smart enough to
Right.
know she needs to
Yeah.
check that.
But maybe
But
she
it's
was
not even.
taking-
It's because the FDA doesn't have it approved either, and if it's not approved in America, it's a bad drug
Yeah.
because they only make the good
Yeah,
ones.
but you
right?
can buy it over the counter in Russia. Like it's
Yeah,
nothing
you can
over
buy it
there,
anywhere
where
in
she's
Eastern
from.
Europe.
Yeah.
But
And
I think the reason I'm not arguing with you. But
I don't know
that's
what
stupid.
story- I
That's
don't know what
stupid.
story,
That's
yes.
stupid. Well, Nike's just a joke, but
well,
but like. It's so stupid. Like I don't know why she's getting crucified. She came out and said
She
she's
did
taking
right.
The only
She
thing
should
about
be
it, the
crucified.
only thing
No,
about it
not
is
at all.
it wasn't legal to take, but it wasn't on the ban list.
No.
It wasn't illegal.
Yeah.
But you're only supposed to take that drug for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
She's been taking it for 10 years.
Yeah, but it says like once,
But
twice, 3
she
times
was
a year.
definitely
But
taking it
but
for
if they said
performance
if
enhancing
crystal
purposes.
meth wasn't on there and I could take crystal
Yeah.
meth every day for 10
Yeah.
years and I could win at tennis and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you ding me for it, you can't kill me for the past 10 years.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's her defense about Jones. It's like, well, it's not on her banned list. Well, it's a fucking street drug, so
Still legal.
that's worse than this thing. You know, I got it right here. Let's look into it. Oh yeah, increases blood flow, and that may aids oxygen updates or what the fuck. So that may increase your stamina throughout a tennis match. So that's why they decided to start banning it because it couldn't increase your endurance. Kind
She
of thing.
said she takes it because it makes her feel good.
Yeah,
So whatever.
Yeah.
but the fact
That's why I
that
eat
like
cheesemburgers.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
you
right.
said, the fact
That's
that
why
it
I'm
wasn't
40 pounds overweight. I mean, because
Who knows how long it's in your, who knows how long it's in your system for?
That's
Maybe
what
she was
happens.
taking it until October and it stays in your system for
All right,
6 months.
we're
so.
going on to baseball. Okay, Blue Jays talk now. We're going to go on. I think we're going to lead the segment off with what I want to talk about before we get into what Goose said and everything like that. I want to just talk about what we expect of the Blue Jays this year. Blue Jays, are they going to win the AL East? Are they going to win a wild card? Before I get to you guys, I'm going to go to our guest, our resident Blue Jay expert, who, by the way, doesn't hate the second best player on the Blue Jays.
Third best. Fourth probably nowadays. Anyways, moving on.
Go ahead, Knox.
Jason
Yes.
Knox.
Before they even started spring training, I had them pegged as the wild card team.
Yeah.
Because I really liked what the Red Sox did. And I had a little bit of a feeling that the Red Sox are going to just have one of those swagger type, not swagger, one of those, you know how the Red Sox win, it's
Every
always like
couple
this,
years,
like they have this,
Just a bunch of
it's this-
guys.
well,
together.
or Poppy's last year,
Yeah.
Farrell coming back from cancer, like, you know, they rally around stuff like that.
Price, so that's
Price
yeah.
in there, and Price, you know, being the good guy he is, you know, just the guy who's going to command respect in the locker room.
Who's a good locker room guy?
He's a good locker room guy.
Yeah.
And they have a good lineup. And they have a good lineup.
Yeah.
I don't really love their pitching, to be honest with you, but they have better. I'll say they have better pitching than the Jays, just because they got Price.
Yeah.
They got the guy who can go out there every fifth day and dominate. But
If Stroman can do that.
I don't like you.
Wow.
You can't talk
You don't
about it in
know
that.
I'm saying
He
if. All
started
I'm saying
10
is
games,
if.
yeah.
I'm
There's
not
a
saying
big if.
not-
If you look at his numbers, the guy's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I know.
But
yes.
But it's a big if.
I'm saying if.
I have them pegged as a
Yeah,
wild card
I'm
team.
saying-
But now, and I don't know if I'm getting fooled, because I mean, I try not to get fooled by spring training. You're 10 games in. They've won 8 of 10 games and tied 1. They've only lost 1. But it's more of the swagger and the attitude. And the more I watch the interviews and the way they're playing, and how these guys who aren't going to make the team and are going to be playing in Buffalo are raking, because they're hanging around a bunch of players who are raking and some guys who maybe have a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth because they didn't win last year. I'm looking at that team and I'm going, the Jays are going to put a hurting on
they're
that
pissed.
division.
They're pissed.
But I compare them to, and I know they didn't make it as far as, but I compare them to the Royals from last year.
Yeah.
The Royals started last year, and they lost the World Series, but they started last year, if you remember, with a chip.
Yep.
Like, 2 weeks into the season, they'd already been in 2 brawls.
Yeah.
Picked fights with the White Sox. They picked fights with the A's. They had
What
a
was
fight
his
with
name?
the Jays.
Velasquez or whatever?
Volquez.
Volquez.
Volquez and Ventura, but Ventura
Yeah.
was starting it off last year.
Ventura
But they had
always-
this chip, and my thought was like, where do you guys get off having this chip? You haven't won anything. But they carried that through the year, and they showed, they were like, no, you're not going to beat us. We're going to beat you today. That's the vibe I'm getting from like the Jays.
I agree.
And a lineup that's just going to kill you.
I think Donaldson leads that, eh? Like Donaldson's the guy pushing the rest of the lineup going.
You know who he
Let's-
is? I was thinking about today. He's Brett Laurie, except he's actually can hit
Good,
and he actually
yeah.
can play
That's right,
defense.
yes.
Yeah,
He
he's
can back it
actually
all up.
good,
He can
yeah.
throw his hair in a man bun all he wants
Yeah.
if he wants to rake 40 homers a year.
yeah.
But you already got Batista, who the bigger the game gets and the more pissed off he is, kills
Boom.
him.
There
And
it goes.
Encarnacion, you know, he's picked. He can throw his back out tying shoes. But I mean, and Martin and Plar's coming and Goins, and if Saunders is doing what he's going to do, I mean,
Yeah.
He's pissed
I'm
and
excited
and-
to see Saunders. I
And
want
I,
to see what Saunders
and I want to
can
see what light kick Tulo is going to
Yes.
do. Because if Tulo all of a
Yes.
sudden decides he's going to hit the ball again, he's going to hit 35 homers. What are you going to do with 4 30-homer guys?
That's tough to pitch around, eh? Like,
can't.
oh, I'm gonna walk this guy to get to this guy.
But
To get to this guy.
And
to
even
this
if
guy,
you get through them, you're so emotionally drained from
Yeah.
getting through them that here comes Martin and, oh no, maybe Smoke's playing today. And if you make a mistake to them, it's going to the 500 level.
Colabello's hitting a double off.
And Colabello
Yeah.
raked last year.
Yeah,
There's
we're
no
gonna-
break in that lineup. There
There's
isn't
not.
one.
No,
And
there-
maybe that's more the fact that I'm not as worried about the pitching.
no, I'm.
Because you can, I'd be worried about the pitching if that's the staff you have come playoff time, because I still don't know if you'd have enough to shut down what better pitching you're going to see.
Yeah,
But you could still go Stroman if Sanchez is in there.
I like Estrada.
Estrada.
Man, I like the way he
Can
pitched
he,
last
but
year.
every pitcher's got questions. Can Stroman throw 30 starts this year? He's coming, you know.
Can Estrada come off that contract?
Can Estrada do
Signed.
that? Estrada's an off-speed guy.
Well, all it is
Can
is he's got
Dickey
two
keep
pitches,
giving
right?
you 200
Right.
innings and a 3.95 ERA?
Yeah.
Can Hap just be Hap? You know, he's going to be bad. He's going to be
He's
decent.
gonna be. He's a lefty. He has to be. He's gonna have a lefty or
that's
What,
the only
is
thing.
Hap going
But-
to be the Mariners Hap, or is Hap going to be the
Pirates Hap.
Hap?
Wow.
That
If
had a
he's
lot
the
to do
Pirates
with-
Hap,
I know.
that's
But that had a
crazy.
lot to do with the
Yeah.
leagues you're playing in too.
But it
And
also
that
had to do with
bullpen
his
is
pitching
good.
coach in
The
Pittsburgh.
bullpen's
Yeah.
good.
No, it is. I'm way more confident in the bullpen this year than
And
going
if you
last
have,
year.
if
It was
you,
like,
yeah.
you got
Throwing-
Cecil, who was
throwing-
lights out in the second half.
second half.
He's
was
and
good.
Luke's probably injured, which doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
Cecil's out.
but
for
I
if
hate
Sanchez
him.
starts in the pen, you got Cecil, Sanchez, Osuna, and Storin in the
Storin.
back end.
Man, I like that Storin pickup.
I mean, that's 4 guys you
yeah,
can go to.
that's definitely a good deal. Everybody's ripping his time, but
I never
I'll
ripped
give
it
Ben
once.
Why
Ben
would you rip
Revere.
that
I'll
deal?
give Ben Revere for Stroman.
The only
Any
reason
day.
Storin,
Any
the only
day.
reason
Any
Storin, only reason Storin shit the bed is because Papelbon got
Papel-
traded
yeah.
on, and they handed him the
Yeah,
closer
they fucked him
job.
over.
Well,
yeah.
because Papelbon said,
And-
I'm not going to pitch unless
Yeah.
it's the closing.
Yeah.
And Papelbon's a douchebag.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can
yeah,
be
yeah.
douchebag any
Well,
Yeah.
Stroman,
Any
like,
day.
look at
Yeah.
his numbers the last 3 years. He's fucking. He was closing.
I like
30
Storin.
saves,
I like
He's
35
fine.
saves.
He's
Oh,
fine.
he's
I actually want him closing
fine.
over Osuna.
Yeah.
He's fine. I'd say he's better
Osuna
than
grooves in.
fine. He's
I
better
gotta see
than
what
fine.
I gotta see what Osuna's done with that
He
slider.
grooves
Can he throw a first
fastballs
strike?
in, right? Like that's
He's got a
Osuna.
flat fastball, and when he misses, like when it's not on the corners, it's over
gone.
the heart and it's gone,
Gone.
and you can square it
Yeah.
up. He was trying to work
Yeah.
a slider at the end of last year,
Yeah.
but it started a foot out of the zone and ended 3 feet out of the zone. Nobody was offering at it,
Yeah.
so.
I'd
But
go-
he can work, and he's probably going to be a starter down the line.
He's going to be
so.
a starter.
I'd
Yeah.
be
But,
okay with
I'm
throwing, give him the
actually
job, give him the closer.
really excited
Yeah.
about this year.
It's
Like,
going to be fun to
now,
watch.
if
Warren,
this team watch what happens if this team starts 4-10. You know, it just gets off to a slow.
it's-
Things aren't working.
it's just a fan.
Watch what the media does though.
Yeah.
Batista's contract, Encarnacion's contract. It'll be rammed down your throat daily,
Toronto
and then
media.
all of a
It's Toronto
sudden
media.
that's Toronto media because they're the worst media in.
So
Well,
bad.
New
What I-
York's not even that bad.
What I'm worried about is the injury here and there. Like if one of those guys goes down, like if say Stroman or like a Batista or
That's why you
Graciano
need. I
goes
told
down,
you this last week.
There's
I said
like,
you need
fuck
8
that.
or 9 pitchers in
Yeah.
here.
That's why.
like 1 or 2 key injuries could end the season.
If you have Hutchinson starting in Buffalo
Yeah,
to get his reps in through Buffalo,
and Floyd and Chavez.
yes,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
at least you have those. Yeah. So the pitcher goes down.
Last
not
year
that
at this
big.
time we didn't even have that,
exactly.
No,
you know,
we had
I agree.
nothing last
Yes.
year. Last year was like looking like a dud.
and the
year.
pen was kind of like.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Even if
Yeah.
they didn't trade for Price, I think they still might have made the playoffs. I think they might have been a wild card team,
Close.
but
The price
They
give
went over
them
the
the
top.
ego boost, right?
Well,
the
what was
price.
he 9
oh, he walked in there and
Nine-
just
yeah.
owned it.
The
He
players are
almost,
like,
he
"Uh-huh."
almost, you know what? He almost pitched as well as Dickey did in the last 3 months.
That's
dude.
right. Yeah.
Almost.
It's a good spot for Price because
I thought Dickey was terrible.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
You ask Lee. Lee
We'll
makes
get into
sense.
that. We'll see. But it's amazing.
We can get into
No, we're not
that.
getting into that. We'll just let the.
Oh, we don't have to.
don't
The
have
point
to.
was is
Come
you knew
on.
you had Price to lean on,
Yeah.
and he was just chucking BBs.
But
It
you
was a
guys
good
don't look.
clubhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a good clubhouse. But This year, can Strowman just all of a sudden be the number one? I don't know, because I don't even know if he was gonna be a number one. I never looked at him that way.
I always looked at
This soon, I don't see it.
this soon.
prior to Strowman getting called up before Sanchez. I liked Sanchez
I agree.
over Strowman.
Just because of that fastball had a little more giddy up.
Oh man, 98 with a sinking movement. That's
And moving all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanchez struggles with control, and
Now he's put on 25
pounds.
25 pounds.
Yeah.
Apparently his ass is bigger than Lee's, which
Yeah.
is saying something. And and now he's got some weight and some juice behind
Yeah.
that. Like, and I was reading an article today that they kept going on about how good his curveball looks. And I'm like,
Really?
if you develop anything, like Cecil was helping him with some stuff, and I'm thinking Cecil's
Throwing
got
like
maybe
this,
Cecil's got a
instead of
top
throwing
5
like this.
curveball in the league.
Cecil's got.
And if he
Yeah.
can somehow get a
More than
little bit of
that,
that, oh my God, he'd be a lights out. It'd be like Verlander or Scherzer.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys remember, but before Scherzer took off, he was a flat fastball guy who got knocked around a little bit.
Arizona,
At Arizona,
yeah,
but he
yeah,
had
yeah.
everything, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he found it, and it's like,
Yeah.
boom.
Just like,
Yeah.
within a couple years. he was
Sanchez can be that
dominant.
guy.
I agree with you.
I don't know if
Sanchez
he
can
can give you
lights
200
out.
innings this year, because a lot of those guys had low counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Dickey's so important for this team.
I agree with you. Yes, 200 innings a season is.
Sanchez only gave you 90 last year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
90.
Yeah,
Gavin
we'll see.
Floyd's given you 50 over the last 3 years combined. Hasn't
Not bad.
thrown 180 innings since 2008.
But
He'll
he's got
bounce
him
back.
pegged as your fifth.
But then all of a
He's
sudden,
a fifth
coming off
starter.
injury, you can't
Come
expect him
on.
to make 30
Gavin
starts.
Floyd.
No, can't do that.
Everybody's come off injuries. A lot of guys have came off. Look at Roy Halladay. Chris Carpenter, actually. He was down and out. How many surgeries did he have?
Right,
He was down and out
when
and
he
done.
came back, when he came back,
3
he
or
didn't
4
throw 200
surgeries.
innings the first
Well,
year.
no, I'm not saying Gavin Floyd to throw 200 innings.
But that's
But-
if
but
guys
geez-
go down, that's what they would need.
Well,
Gavin
okay,
Floyd's
yeah.
coming back off of an injury. You're not expecting him to throw
No.
your 200 innings.
No.
But if you lose a starter, you lose a Strowman, or like that's where I say the value of Dickey comes in. He will give you 200, and he's given you 650 over the last 3 years, and he's made 100 starts. That's 6 and 2. He averages 6 innings a start. That's highest in the league every
Well, I'm
single
not
year.
saying Dickey's horseshit.
No, you said that last
you
week.
definitely
okay,
said that.
Definitely
he's not
said
But
that.
that's the
irrelevant.
value. That's the value, because
He
if
is
you don't
valuable
have that
to a
guy,
team.
if you got him thrown out of the bullpen
Yeah.
waiting for a 9-2
Well, yeah.
game, why don't you just get
Okay.
Why don't I throw out of the bullpen?
Exactly.
It's a
Okay,
9-2
yeah,
game.
that's where it comes in. Dickey is not. He is valuable some ways. If you have a dud come in and throw 2 innings, you go to your bullpen, you're fucked. So if you can throw a Dickey in there for 6 innings of whatever for a throw-off game.
But you're expecting yourself to get.
No, you
blown
guys
out
are
a bunch of
pegging him
times.
as a number 2 starter. And he's
No, we
not.
aren't.
No,
Not
he's a
once.
middle. He's a
Last
back
week you
end.
guys,
I
you
have
guys
a
were
full-
last week.
You
I have
could
a
start
full-
him
had
as
3
you
last
could
week.
start
Oh,
him
yeah,
as
I'm at 4.
if you're going to start at the beginning of
Ow.
the year, you could have Dickey be your number 2 guy. Big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you slot him. It really doesn't
Wow.
throughout the year.
Yeah, but injuries take their tolls, and then you need. Yeah, it doesn't work
Because
that way.
Dickey's
all
the
time.
type of guy, and he's also 3 days rest. We got injuries. Give me the ball. That's the point.
Yeah,
That's
but you're
where he's
losing that fucking game, so good luck
ask,
with that.
ask 31
How do you
other
know you're
teams.
losing that?
Because you know you're losing that game.
Ask 31 other with his 3.95 ERA. Ask everybody in baseball if they want a back end of the rotation guy who's going to pitch 220 innings, give you 500 baseball, and wins and losses. I mean, come on, they're arbitrary, and also eat up those many innings with that type of ERA and give you 33 starts out of your 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Every
You
single
can't
team in the league
As
would
a
take
fifth
Ducky
guy,
right now
yes.
and put him as a 4 or
You
5.
As a 5th guy.
Nobody else has that.
Well, you don't want to.
You have what you have in the back end of everybody's rotations. It's a bunch of Brad
It's a
Pennies and Gavin
rotation.
Floyds
It's-
with
it
6
doesn't really matter.
ERAs
It's a rotation.
who can't stay
Well,
healthy.
what my rotation is yeah, I got him at the 5th at worst. I got Hap, Strowman.
He'll pitch before Hap. He'll pitch. He might even pitch
No,
in
you.
3.
Why would you throw him out there before Hap?
cares if he
I'd
pitches
rather
before
him
Hap?
him.
What is it? I'm
No,
not a big
but like
baseball
he
guy.
said, if you get
but
in
what
a
does it
tough
matter?
spot-
You get in a rotation, you can switch
Yeah,
guys
so
You
around.
can move guys around.
If you get in a
That's
tough
it.
spot, you gotta throw him during
Just
3
As long as you're
innings.
stuck using it,
Legit-
yeah, it's turning the
Logistically
rotation.
speaking, if you started a playoff series tomorrow, Strowman would start game 1, Estrada would start game 2, Dickey would start game 3.
Yeah.
Ah, good luck with that one. You guys are done in 5. Fuck. You guys seen this fucking Dickey guy, but yeah, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we'll see
That's
how that
it.
works.
Dickey and Batista.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're on both.
I'm gonna write down a
Just
number.
get
I'm gonna write down a number.
Dump them.
Okay.
Oh,
So
What-
we want
there.
to move on to the
There.
comments.
How does that look for you guys? Yeah, we'll
6
see how
and
that
15
works.
with a 4.5.
We'll see how that
Well,
looks
seeing
for
as
you
he's
guys.
pitched in the AL East for the past 3 seasons, and his
The
ERA
AL East
went
is way down. Come on, the Yankees know what they are. The Reds
with
know what they are.
he went. You're not going to tell me that the Orioles don't
Yeah,
rank? You're
Adam
not going to tell me.
Jones.
You're not going
the
to.
Rays
Jones.
rake? The Rays rake? Who the Rays
Do
have
the Red
anymore?
Sox rake?
Not anymore.
Oh,
Late
come on.
last year.
Pay
they did.
attention.
What did they do
Pay
last
attention.
year?
The
What did they do
Yankees have the
last year?
second most amount of runs
Did you
scored.
see the
Oh,
amount of
I
hits
did
that they
not.
got last year?
You guys are
They get
Xander
ridiculous.
Bogarts,
Mookie
You guys
Betts,
are
Betts,
ridiculous.
Ortiz,
Yeah.
Pedroia, Hanley
Yeah.
stunk.
Come on.
Troy was
Yeah,
out
that's
for
dumb.
6 weeks, and Sandoval, how did he hit? No, they're not.
It doesn't matter. You're not pitching
Ah.
against. You're not pitching against a no Giancarlo Stanton in the Florida Marlins. You're pitching against the Yankees in hitters' ballparks. You're against the Red Sox in a hitters' ballpark. You're pitching against the Orioles in a hitters' ballpark. Rays, okay, they don't have a great lineup. They got good pitching, but they don't have a great lineup
let's
at all.
not forget.
You're getting
Like
wrecked
Teixeira
with
was
the
on an
Orioles.
MVP type season last
Who?
year.
Teixeira was MVP consideration
Exactly,
at the
until
time
he got
hurt.
Yeah.
like the
He
the
really
Yankees
was.
have got
They're
a
not what
lineup.
they were. They're not.
The Yankees have
It's
a
not the
fucking-
AL East what it used to be.
Yeah,
That's not the
McCann,
Red Sox
Rodriguez,
what it used to be. It's
Teixeira.
not the Yankees
Yeah,
what it
you know
used
the
to be.
Yankees
Who said
suck.
fucking that? Teixeira hit about 230.
Which Red Sox team do you think hits better than the one that hit last year?
I'd rather have the old 8 Red Sox team when Ari Dickey wasn't pitching for the Jays and he
Well, who was on the Red Sox team that
Ari
ranked
Dickey was
better than
pitching
what the
against
Red
the
Sox pitch
Marlins
now?
and Braves back then.
Did you
in
see
08.
the Red
the
Sox in the
Phillies.
second half
Yeah,
of
the
the season
Phillies
last
that were
year?
awesome back then.
We're
Yeah.
talking about the Red Sox
And,
hitting, though, not Dickey pitching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nowadays we're talking about it. It's a lot
But
different
that's
nowadays.
the whole point. That's the whole point of my AL East.
I mean,
If you
he's
can
in
keep your ERA under 4,
Oh, fuck
that's impressive.
yeah. I agree with you.
Being a knuckleballer.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years were 3.71 and 3.91.
Yeah.
Under 4, which is better than
But
better than half the rotation of the Red Sox, half the rotation of the Yankees. It's an under 4 ERA in the AL East. I don't care who the hell you are. If you're going to make 33 starts and your ERA is going to be under 4, and every 5th day you're going out there, and probably 3-4 times a month you're pitching against the AL East, where do I sign?
yeah, exactly.
Come on.
He must
We're
be
done.
a beast,
We're
man.
done with the Blue Jays. We're going to local sports. We're going to talk a little bit of the Gold Wings, a little bit of Red Wings, and then we're done with the show. So bear with us for the last
6 hours.
3 minutes of the fucking show. So we had the Southern Range Gold Wings. They played their first game of their semifinal series against the Saskatoon Stars up in Saskatoon. They got shit pumped 5-0. They play the next game tomorrow night.
So blunt.
It's a tough game.
Yeah. Well, it's
They
a
lost.
5-0 loss. Is
Okay,
a
they-
shit
It's a
pump.
shit pumping.
They
Whatever.
lost though.
It is what it is. Like, we're not here to soften
We're going to
blows.
sugarcoat it.
Honestly. So they played tomorrow night, Friday night, in Weyburn at I'm thinking 7:45.
10:30.
7:30.
Yeah, I have my ticket ready. You?
I'm fucking going taking my son there tomorrow night.
Okay. My carpool.
Yeah, I will be at your house.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna pick you up, but fine.
Everybody get out and
I
support.
don't want my kids.
I gotta
smoking
work
smoke.
tomorrow.
Yeah, be
Jordan took
grumpy.
a holiday just to go watch that game. So
That's good on him, man. Yeah.
Pretty stellar fella. Anyways, so as we've reiterated the past 3 episodes, girls are the Gold Wings are hosting the SO Cup starting April 17th, National Championship. Let's get out there, support the girls. They got a good team, got good players, and all that stuff. Just go Gold Wings. Hopefully, before the SO Cup starts, we're going to try to get Chad Kish on the show. Not to sit here and do what we do, but just to pump his show or pump his team a bit. Next week, I'm going to try to get Tyler Warwick on our team for the Weyburn Red Wings to pump up the Weyburn Flin Flon series that's going to be going on starting March 18th, I believe. That
I think
sound
it's
right?
Friday, Saturday next weekend.
Yeah.
playoff hockey's always exciting.
It is.
That Flin Flon
Oh, yeah.
team has, if you haven't been, that Flin Flon team has a top line that is unreal.
Yeah.
It's a good, it's a good hockey team.
Guy I know, this is, he said, she said, or whatever, but he was talking with the commissioner of the league, and he asked him, pick your 3 teams or pick your favorites to win the league. He said Battleford, Weyburn, and Flin Flon are his favorites. So
You gotta
if
pick Weyburn with a goalie like they have.
Yeah, but
goalies
you
carry.
have-
the team.
You want to know what's funny though? If Burgard happened to go down, don't discount fair.
Fair's good.
Fair's good.
Fair's
so
good.
the Wings, goaltending wise,
Yeah.
are in such good shape.
And
it's
that's
not
the
even funny.
biggest thing for playoffs. Is goal.
Oh yeah, they're
And the rest of their stuff though was
Oh, yeah.
spread out scoring,
Yeah.
right? Solid D and spread out scoring.
Defensively, yeah, for sure.
but it's Burgard.
Burger.
yeah,
bad.
most of it, yeah.
Their top line's good too. I mean, the Wings' top line's good too.
Yeah, it's no top 10 scorers in the league this
No.
year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, so what does that say about deep? They're deep.
They're a
fucking
deep team.
Yeah.
And they don't get scored on a lot.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
which is the reason why they're both in. Yeah, obviously.
And contrary to popular belief, they give up a lot of scoring chances.
Oh, I've
They
watched
do.
a lot of home
Yeah,
games.
yeah. I mean, people call them a stout defensive team.
Stout
Calm down a
goaltending,
little
no.
bit. Calm down a little bit.
They-
They have a little bit of an issue. Not an issue, but they give up some good scoring chances, and Burgard is that good.
Yeah.
They put Donovan Lum on D this year, and Donovan hasn't played defense since Adam AA hockey.
They had a lot of injuries in the back.
I know,
Yeah,
but
it's like
they
throwing
still
Corbin
keep
on
playing
forward.
him there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they bumped him up at the end of the year.
They
though. He's
did,
back
yeah.
up playing on
But
the-
he's,
yeah.
yeah.
And he starts sniping a little too. At the
He's
back of
getting,
the net.
getting some apples too.
Yeah.
More so than I think he's ever done in his life.
I'm just
In the
it's-
offseason, he's coming on.
I'm hoping people fill the rink.
I
Yeah.
It's Flin Flon. Flin Flon's going to bring people down for Friday, Saturday.
Oh, yeah,
there's going to
sure.
be some bus, and there's going to be, I don't know
It's
if they're
gonna be
bringing
loud
loose
in
legs, but
section
they're going to
A,
be
right?
loud.
Yep.
A's-
That's where I usually sit. I won't be sitting there. I'm going to be in Edmonton anyways.
Oh.
But, yeah, that's because going there to play isn't easy.
no.
That's not
Oh,
easy in the
Tough rink,
playoffs.
yeah.
They got
Play
good
fast.
That's why I kind of, as a fan, I wanted Esteban, not only for the rivalry, but I think Esteban is an easier team to beat.
Yeah.
Just
we-
because they're going to be focused on the WCC, are they really going to be in it?
Yeah,
Because you know they have it already.
Yep, that's right. I sit in section D, right? A, B, C, D. The fun zone, so I get to see the Weyburn goalie play
Twice a game.
twice
There
a
you
twice
go.
a game.
He's worth the price of admission.
So good
Yeah.
to watch.
Seems like he's good, yeah.
Oh man, his positioning is second to none, really. Like in junior A hockey,
I can't even think of a stinker goal he let in. Like one where you'd say, I mean, it happens to all goalies, but where you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you know.
Jeez.
Some
But I can't
more-
even think of like one where you're like,
Lot more
oh,
than
how did he
others.
not, you know, in a big spot where it's like, oh, no, it's always glove up, blocker down,
Yeah.
pads out, like, yeah.
yeah.
It's been fun to watch.
Well,
him
he
play.
deserves a D1 scholarship, which he got, right?
Yeah, Bemidji.
Yeah, nothing
Where?
wrong with that. But
Same
Midgie
place
State-
Carter Struthers.
Carter Struthers, yeah. So, anyways, that's our local sports.
Get out and sport
Those
him.
ones.
Well, Lee and I are going to the Gold Wings game tomorrow. I don't care if he's tired, hungover, whatever the hell he is.
Yeah.
He's coming with me. So we will see you Gold
If
Wings
anybody wants to
tomorrow
shoot an interview, we're up for it.
He'll be the guy
Camera.
yelling about Nike in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, you might nice skates. What's with those? Yeah. Phil Knight, I still hate you. Like, you're a scumbag.
Hold up the R.A.
Don't
dick,
get me
he
started
sucks.
with that guy.
All right.
God.
Anyways,
That's the show.
thanks for
Fuck you,
tuning in.
Phil Knight and Knight.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Episode 7, we're done.
Cheers.
All right,
Cheers.
good work,
See you
guys.
guys. Thanks
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Jason.
No
Thanks.
problem.
Yeah.
So-